I'm gonna be playing Reinhardt probably the whole game, and this is pretty much a Plat 5 peak Plat 5 game.
Okay, I mean, so
Um,
just give us a bit of insight into your like history with the game. Like, how long have you been playing? Have you only recently climbed? Like, how long have you been Plat 5, and why? Like, do you only always play Reinhardt? Like, what do you play?
So I'm basically a Ryan main, and I've been playing for a long time technically. So the consistency started from like season 27, and I've been gold the whole Overwatch 1. But immediately when Overwatch 2 kicked in, I was bumped up to Plat 2. That is my peak. And right now I'm Plat 5. I am a Ryan main based, so just the demographic, I have like a 300 hours on Reinhardt overall, and the second most is like 45, which is Ana. So
Right.
I'm like a heavy Ryan main who's trying to switch to other tanks. Orisa would be my second tank because she's kind of strong right now. But I generally struggle with aiming, so I'm not really good at Orisa.
I mean, fair. We can respect a Reinhardt, Chad. So, okay. Last thing then, before we get into the gameplay itself, what do you think your strengths and weaknesses are on Reinhardt?
Okay. So my strength is sometimes I'm just like I can make plays, like really be aggressive. If I go unpunished, I'm basically rolling the entire team. But if I get punished, that's when I struggle a lot, where like to decide how much I can get away with.
Okay, fair enough. That's understandable. That is, I think, very, the nature of Reinhardt in many ways. Okay, so then looking at your team here, and looking at their team as well, we can cheat a little bit, and before the game starts, we know what they're running. What does that make you think about your gameplay and what you want to do? Like, is there anything that you're paying attention to when you're like looking at these two teams?
Honestly, I would kind of pressure the low ground because I don't expect the Sigma like going from the left side and contesting the high ground at all. So I want to like try to zone the Sigma down under the bridge and make sure that he doesn't get to touch point, which will kind of waste a lot of time while I can build my ult charge.
Okay, well, I mean, more generally, like, so some stuff like I have an Ana, I have a BAP, I would play like this, or they have this, I would, I'm worried about this, that kind of stuff. Is there anything like that in your mind?
Oh, I'm worried about the Surgeon just randomly picking off. And well, I have an Ana, so I really want to like let the Ana build the ult charge. So I'm want to act like a meat shield, so both my supports can get a lot of ult charge based off me. And the faster I get my nano, the more I can punish them.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is that you don't necessarily need to play for their ultimates. Like, I don't think they're gonna make a huge impact disproportionately on how you're gonna play. I think knowing that you have two, what we might call main healers, which is big healers basically, I think you should be able to be a bit more aggressive theoretically. You should be, because if this was, let's say, Ana Mercy, well, the Mercy'd be probably stuck with the Ashe and the Junkrat, and you would only have real one support with you. But Ana BAP means that there's a good chance one of them can heal you up very quickly, so you might have liberty to be very aggressive. Yes, like you said, and everyone should
I doubt their positioning because BAPs are in Plat, they're kind of known to like go like 5 miles behind me, so I kind of like discount BAP on like emergency situations, honestly.
That's fine, and it is best to not rely too much on your teammates, but just conceptually, theoretically, that is how it should be. There's two potential people who can heal you up very quickly, basically, or save you from those situations. And on the other side, yeah, everyone should be afraid of Sojourn. I'd say Ana is the other threat for you. You don't want to get anti-nated, you don't want to get slept. Beyond that, I don't think the Sigma, Genji, or Lucio are a real problem for you, so that should be fine. So I think that's how we'll approach it in theory, but now let's see how it actually happens. You can start on the high ground.
Yeah, just because the Ashe is taking the high ground,
Yeah, that's fine. So the Genji's already dashed and used deflect. That's fine. Okay, now I think you need to start paying attention to this right here.
Yeah, the Sigma is just...
Okay, so you're gonna go chase after him. I'm just gonna let it play out for a little bit before we comment on anything. Nice fire strike. Should be able to get the Lucio. Very nice. Okay, so your BAP and Ana both did help you. So I think like
Yeah.
obviously the good thing for you is your Junkrat gets 2 here. Otherwise I think this could have been a problem for you. Because you get a bit distracted by the Genji. And the main thing you need to do, because again, here's the thing you gotta think about, right? Is like, can the Genji take this space on his own? Very unlikely, right? He's fighting one Junkrat, there's 2 supports next to him. Very unlikely this Genji can just walk up and take everything. This Sigma, however, is a problem. And he actually basically calls your entire team to turn around. Again, like I said, thankfully your Junkrat, as we'll see this happen, he kills the Sojourn and the Genji. Because if this happened with a full 5v5, I think you might be in a bit of trouble. Because we're looking at like the classic metal rank experience of the tank is run straight on the point. The people, like if there was still a Sojourn and Genji here, they would be carving up your Junkrat, they'd be carving up your backline, right? And you're then chasing the Sigma and Lucio. So I think it's probably going to be important for you to not let them get through the choke point. And obviously you can see this Ana's kind of free firing and your Junkrat pops off again, so he just 2-taps her. So every threat that would have been a problem for you in this fight, your Junkrat dealt with. But I think the most important thing for you on a point like this, in general anyways, is just to make sure that they... Because again, the areas that Reinhardt is strong, what would you say the areas Reinhardt is strong?
Right now I would think that the low ground, because the high ground is kind of nutty.
I just mean generally. I don't necessarily mean on Paris.
Oh, chokes. Holding chokes. Reinhardt is super good at holding chokes.
Yeah, I mean, not even just necessarily chokes, but yeah, chokes for sure. But he's very good at controlling certain areas of the map, right? He's hard to dislodge. Like if you're Reinhardt, you've got full shield and any amount of HP, you're going to be very hard for the enemy team to just kind of run past or push past. So you can, and this bridge is very hard to get through in Parisu. So if you can stop them getting underneath your team, then it should be very hard for them to dislodge your team, right? So let's see if that happens in the next fight. Okay, already some shenanigans are taking place. Let's have a see. Okay, so you're gonna run back here. Yeah, I don't think you need to be afraid of the Genji. I think you could have pushed him back there. Yeah, so unfortunately the choke has been given up essentially, right? So you guys are...
Yeah.
You guys are giving up that area. I'm not a huge fan of this. What was that all about? Why are you fire striking your own Junkrat?
I kind of thought there was a trap, but I realized that, you know, it's my own trap.
That was bizarre. Okay. Okay, your Junkrat is absolutely cracked. Okay,
Yeah,
this is bad. This is bad.
Honestly, he was communicating a lot. So he was in calm telling me, hey, I'm going to engage that. So I'm kind of ignoring whoever he's trying to engage.
So can you, in your words, why do you think this fight goes badly? Like, do you have any idea?
The Genji just destroyed my backline and I don't even know what's happening.
Okay, so that probably tells me well that you don't know what went wrong.
Okay.
So yeah, the Genji kills one player in the map. That's okay, but the fight is nowhere near over. The problem is you turn and chase the Genji, letting the rest of his team do whatever he wants, right? So here, look, you're so worried about the Genji killed the one BAP. Now look what's happening elsewhere. So now the Sojourn is firing for free. The Sigma and the Ana combine to kill your Ana. Now the Sojourn kills your Ashe. And the Genji gets dealt with by our Junkrat. Right? So like, and now you're stuck in the middle of point. Their Ana gets to walk here, their Sigma's here, and now their Sojourn's here. So the real problem is that you actually turned and got distracted by the Genji that you didn't need to be. You need to, what do we talk about? You need to control the choke point. You need to stop them getting to favorable areas, right? So you're fine here. You kill their Lucio, even losing your BAP, you're still 4v4, right? And you have a pretty fast run back. But you just turn and run, letting the Sigma walk wherever he wants to. Because right now, if you're here, A, this Ana doesn't get to snipe your Ana. B, the Sigma can't go here because you can swing at him for free. And a couple more swings and you can build slam, you can get a free kill. The Sojourn, obviously now that you've given up the high ground, you can't deal with her too well. But from here, I think you could probably... A swing would reach if she was right at the edge. You could kind of threaten her, fire strike her, try and push her away. But if all you do is just control this, that means that the only threats your team has to deal with is this Sojourn and the Genji. Much better than what is essentially now a 4-pronged attack that causes them to fall apart. Does that make sense now?
Yeah, it does.
So you gotta be careful. Like, it's a big trap that Reinhardts fall into very frequently is that they just see like a flanker and they just chase them, thinking that that's the guy who's gonna kill my team. But your job is to make sure that the biggest areas are patrolled. So like big choke points, big pathways. Though, like the majority of their team should not be able to go past you. If one flanker goes past you, that's still fine. That's like something you can't necessarily help. Is Ryan's priority generally controlling the enemy tank? Asked Pete Babe in chat. It depends on the matchup. If he's better than the other tank in the close range matchup, then yes. But sometimes like you don't necessarily want to do that against a Winston. You can't do that against an Orisa. You can't do that against a Doomfist. So like it depends on the matchup. Against Sigma, you can bully him at close range. So you want to be up in his face as often as you can, and it is important for you as well, Asphalt, to like understand the matchups. So just like if you can bully the enemy tank, bully them. Otherwise, you're just gonna have to go YOLO and look for picks, basically. Like look for crazy pins and isolating people. So again, here you're tunneled with a Genji. Instead, you need to be thinking about like maybe you can YOLO on this BAP. So again, here you know you push the Sigma back. You can definitely push the BAP back if you want to.
I'm just giving up a lot of space for free.
Yeah, you're just kind of backing up very passively. Their Sigma's what? That corpse is getting bullied as well. Yeah, see, you're just running back and back and back, right? And nothing has been offered. Like the thing is, this might be like an Overwatch 1 mentality where you're kind of like thinking that you got to shield someone, but the shield is useless. Like they're going all around your shield. Honestly, like it might help you to think about the Reinhardt shield is like it's largely a personal shield now. In Overwatch 2, it's largely like a personal shield. Shielding your teammates is good at times, like if you need to protect them, if something is happening. But this whole like standing here and shielding your team isn't really helping them with anything, right? It's not really offering them anything because, again, the Sigma just goes around it. The Genji's gonna come around it in a second. So here comes the Genji. Now the Sigma's over the top of you. The Genji's on the side of you, and you're just running back slowly, slowly, slowly. The Genji dashes past you and kills your BAP anyways. So. Okay, you get nano boosted. Let's see what happens here. You killed the Genji. Nice pin. I like it. I like it. That's more like it. But now you need to be careful. Now you need to chill. Okay, so I think your awareness is a little bit lacking. Because there, I don't think you realized there was a BAP behind you, did you?
I did realize it. I just knew that anyways my support's gonna die, so I just gave up, like trying to make a play. And see if the other like people who's going behind me might just help me contest because we have a Bob already.
Well, that's odd to hear you say that you gave up trying to make a play considering you pinned in and slammed.
I mean, I was like 400 HP and the Ana died behind me. I knew I was gonna die anyway.
I don't necessarily agree with that assessment, to be honest. Like 400 is a lot of HP, firstly. So at this point, you kill the Sig. It's unlucky you don't hit the Sojourn. To be honest, I don't know how you don't hit the Sojourn. That seems like a little bit of BS, to be honest. I'm not sure. I want to look at that back, actually.
Why not?
I thought you should have landed on the Sojourn, but let's have a look. Let's have a look at this. Oh, I think she's like just at the absolute edge. Kind of feels like she should be, but... Anyways, the point being, with or without the Sojourn down, you've now killed 2 and you're going to kill the 3rd here. So now, if you just stand, like, let's say here and hold your shield, you're cutting the LOS from the BAP damage, so that will save you there. And now it's just a Sojourn. She has to run past you, as in get close enough to hit you, and at that point you can start swinging back. And who does that leave then left? Just the BAP. So... you're now in a 2v1 with full resource in terms of your shield. Your shield is literally full HP. Your Ashe is coming back on the high ground. Your Junkrat's getting back on the high ground. Why would you say this is not a winnable fight?
I'm barely like surviving and I'm pincered already.
But you pincered yourself. You didn't have to be pincered.
Oh yeah, if I didn't pincer then it was totally winnable.
Like here, bam, we kill the Ana. Swing here, and now we just step into here. Like I said, if you step into here, you can also start slowly backing up towards this Mega if you need to. But there's no pincer option here. If you stand here with the shield up, who's gonna pincer you? No one. So I think like actually what you did there was good. Just to be a bit more, to be honest, a bit more YOLO bit more aggressive, a bit more decisive. Because like the whole passive, I'm gonna stand and provide shields for my team playstyle as Reinhardt, like just doesn't cut it in Overwatch 2. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so let's have a look how you approach this next fight. So again, yeah, you can definitely like keep the cart blocked forever, right? Like you should not be able to get dislodged. I'm not sure I want you to chase them this deep. Okay, at least you blocked the rock, that's good. Okay, your shield
I'm
is
just used
broken.
to dealing with Sigmas, so like if I'm only focusing on Sigmas, they can't do too much to me. But
Yeah,
it's just
I mean,
if I'm distracted, then Sigmas can roll over me.
the thing is, Sigma is more flexible than you are as a tank, so yes, you can kind of chase him around, but like he can always find a way around you, right? But both with his shots or just with his positioning. Like his rocks can go around you. I think the problem here is you're winning the fight already and you kind of lose the winning position. Like you're here, you're already stopping the payload. They're not even on the high ground. To be honest, I would have liked to maybe, if I was you, I would have gone like up here to start with. So that at least they can't walk on the high ground either. But since they're not even using the high ground, when you're here, the cart is not pushing. You are winning, right? Like that's simply the job. If you're a defender, you are winning when they are not pushing the cart. So like I think the problem is you walk past the cart here, away from most of your team, and out into not like this is too far. This is too far in the open, right? Like you're just getting your shield broken as 5 people are spamming it, and you can never like I think you should understand intuitively when you see this picture in your mind, you're never gonna cover this gap safely. Right? If you walk, your shield is going to break. If you pin, you're going to get hit by at least 2 CCs, which is the rock and the sleep. So this is not like a distance you should be trying to cover with your shield like this, right? This is not viable. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
You feel free to disagree or ask questions at any point.
No, I'm just finding more stupid stuff about what I did. So
No,
I
it's
totally
okay.
agree.
Okay, so I think like you're just winning here already. And then all you gotta do is just gatekeep here. Like you just if you decide you're gonna drop me, you're gonna stay here. Just sit here. Look for anyone else who's like, if somebody else tries to flank, you can just like shut them down these angles. If somebody goes up, then you can YOLO because that's one or maybe multiple people who are not gonna threaten you. Then you can consider YOLOing, but you never want to just like walk slowly in LOS of everyone towards them, right? Like if you're gonna do it, if you were gonna go, you would go from like the flank. But I don't even think you need to be honest. I think you're winning right now. So I think you didn't need to do this, because what happens is your shield breaks and now you have to back up because you don't have shield. So now you back up to this corner and then they window and then well, to be fair, they window and they blade, nano blade. So like the nano blade is hard to deal with and they use Sojourn Rail, but you're kind of oblivious right now. See, again, you're chasing the Genji when I think the target, is there a better target in your mind right now?
Sojourn?
I think chasing a Nano Genji, unless you happen to pin him, is a bit of a fool's errand. Like, you're gonna... Basically what's gonna happen is what did happen. He's faster than you, he dash resets when he kills stuff. So he gets a dash reset, and then he just dashes away from you, and at the end, like, it's just your Junkrat kills him. Whereas if you gatekeep, again, as we were talking about, gatekeep here, and then you gatekeep here, one swing on the Sojourn kills her. And then again, we're not in an unwinnable position. We have a BAP with a window, we have a Junk with a tire, all alive. Right? So if you'd killed this Sojourn, it would have been a 3v3. You have 2 ultimates, and you are Reinhardt, so you can YOLO on these guys, and you're kind of better in the brawl, so... I don't think, again, I think you kind of give up on these situations very quickly, rather than fight. You seem to kind of... Because if we assess your contribution in this fight, you walk up, you get your shield broken, then you stand in the corner for a while, you swing it air, you get, I think... 2 hits on this Nano Genji, not hugely impactful, and then run away. So like, whereas what you could have done is really like fight this corner, fight the Sojourn, you just kind of slowly back up. So it's like you may as well have died, right? Like you may as well have died because all you did was just kind of stand around and run away. I think it's almost always a bad sign if 4 people are dead and you're the one person alive as Reinhardt, like in my mind something went wrong. It means that you were just like not doing anything. There should never be that the rest of your teammates died and you got out with full HP, right? That's telling me that you were basically not contributing in that fight. Even if it just means like, let's say you see Nanoblade and you're like, I think we're gonna lose, we're gonna wipe to Nanoblade, right? Let's say that's your mentality. Trade someone back, right? Like go in their back line and trade someone back. So go, do you understand what that means, right? When I say trade someone back?
Yeah.
Right? So just like, I think if I was you, firstly, deal with the Sojourn. And then, you know, because Bob is dealing with Cart for now, and I don't really want you in the face of a window, but you can deal with the Sojourn. And then YOLO afterwards, right? Then you can YOLO out from here once the window goes down. If you've heard the sleep dart or if you watch for the sleep dart, once that's gone, and it's just, the rock is much more easy to dodge as well because you can see it happening. You can swing on these guys really hard. You know, this is a real threat. Like a SVB, an Ana, and a Sigma are not going to kill you at any time quickly. So, you know, you can definitely fight here for a long time. Maybe get a kill, maybe threaten them. Buy your team time for another reset. Don't let the card push. Much more impactful than kind of just staring, running back, chasing the Genji, and then just slowly wait. Like, again, you're kind of very indecisive here, right? Your shield is almost broken and you haven't even touched. Okay, nice. Your team is back. Okay, don't be passive.
I was honestly
now.
just waiting for the team to come back, then like decide to go in for the contest.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Go
There's
ahead.
one thing I generally struggle with a lot is knowing where my supports are. Because the entire fight that happened last time, the 2 people I totally missed was the BAP above me and the Sojourn right-clicking. I only saw the Sojourn once it showed on the kill feed.
I think it's because you're tunneling, to be honest. Firstly, obviously, I'm sure you know that you can hold your shield and still turn the camera as Reinhardt. But also, like, instead of looking, like, you should always try and find moments to sneak in a look. To be fair, it's a very easy mistake to make. Every single tank player will at some point be guilty of just like, oh, I lost track of where my team was. Like, I was tunneled on the front line, right? So that's not a unique problem in that sense. But again, here you can you see here you took a quick glance. Okay, my BAP here, Ana, Junker here. Then you get to this corner. If you're just gonna corner swing anyways, take a chance to look around. Where's everyone positioned? What's my team's position? There's Bob. There's my Ana. There's my BAP. There's my Junkrat. Where's my Ashe? She's up here coaching right now, right? So it's just about tunneling. You just tunnel so hard in the Genji that you don't pay attention. And I do think you're not paying super attention as well to like sound and all like visual cues. So like the Sojourn is hitting you from behind and I can hear it. I can hear the rail, right? And the grrr of her primary fire.
Yeah, I'm actually... No, I did not pay to the visual cue at all at that point. Yeah, I think as you said, I was tunnel vision so much on the Genji, I didn't see anything else.
Yeah, because you can see like the little pellets of her gun flying past as well. What up, Lone Buffalo? Thank you, man. And then, of course, the giant this ends now. But you can see like, okay, it's very brief, but you can see like the rail shot hits the wall. You can see like a few pellets of hers flying back. So yeah. You gotta pay... I don't want you to like focus on everything right now, right? I don't want you to necessarily like, oh, I gotta get my awareness up, I gotta get this up, I gotta get that up. Like your awareness will come with time. It's like a skill that can always be trained better. But I think the first and most primary thing is just to understand like the engagements as Reinhardt, because then everything else will like, it doesn't matter if you're super aware if you don't know what to do, right? So first things first, like figure out what to do and then we can go. So now here, I think just hide and hug this wall until you're gonna go, right? Until you're gonna go, because this whole, like the half step you make, then you shield, you run back. You burned half your shield for air, right? Like I said, if you just stood here hugging this, you would have had 1200 HP shield when you walk out. At the moment, you have a 600 HP shield when you walk out, right? For like very minor, like a very minor thing, you just started running out too quickly.
I was actually like looking at the payload so that I don't lose track of it. And you're gonna see exactly why I did that in like 2 minutes.
Okay, well, I assume that means the C9 is coming, but you can also do that from cover, right?
Big
You can do that
C9.
from cover, so you can actually shield look with like around corners, so without having to burn your shield.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, I can. What time? I'll show you really quick. 4:30. Okay. So just to illustrate for anyone who maybe isn't familiar either. Chat wants me to be harsher. We'll see, guys.
Oh
He's
yeah,
not,
I'm
he's not done.
seeing Rensha just trolling on me. Like I'm not even crying. Like what?
When you haven't made any stupid mistakes yet, so when you do, then I'll yell at you.
Oh, you're about to see one. I promise.
Has nothing is warranted the 10 out of 10 yet. Okay, so like let's say you're here. You see? You can just.
I think I have to watch. I'm watching the stream.
Oh, sorry. Because I can't close the application, it didn't.
Oh yeah.
Okay, here you go. I'm sending it back. So like, you're here. You can just do this, right? So the shield is not clipping through the wall, so they wouldn't be able to shoot the shield. And you can literally look around the corner, right? You can kind of manipulate it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. Yes.
So if you were like Parisu and you're here in this corner, you can just like throw your shield in the wall and then just look at the payload and see, okay, it's time to go. Now we go.
I see.
Okay. So that's just like it's not a massive thing, but like these small like that kind of thing is like a important part of resource management. It's like you burned your resources before the fight even started, so it meant that when you got onto the cart, you didn't have anywhere near as long sustainability as you would have otherwise.
Yes.
Okay, let's have a look now. Wait, I think we've gone too far. Okay, so this is where we were. Okay, I think you need to be careful here.
I'm probably gonna die here, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so why do you think you died there?
Lost track of support too far extended, and did not even notice that the honor's alive to keep the Sigma up, and I'm not covering the range anyways.
So yes, all of those things, and you don't. Again, it's one of those cases where it's like you don't need to do this. I don't know. This guy does not understand how. This is the guy who's sending me patch notes. Does not understand how immortality works. He is not immortal.
No,
FYI,
he's
chat.
actually he was trolling.
Really? Okay. Well,
He
anyways, chat.
had like 5,000 healing the entire game.
Chad, this does not work. If it's out of LOS, it does not work. So, much like the guy who sent me the patch notes, this is not how this works. So basically, the point is, all 5 of you are alive. You gotten 2 kills. You've already done your job. You don't need to go YOLO on the Sigma. So, like you said, the reason you don't notice Yana, you're not paying attention to visual cues, right? Let's say you don't see her. Let's say you lost track of her. She goes around this corner. And you don't see her, right? Let's say you didn't visually confirm that she's there. I mean, she does peek out, but she's like, you should be able to notice this little glowing aura around the Sigma means he's getting healed. And then in a second, a nade comes through, right? So he's now yellow, you're purple. These are all the red flags to tell you that you should stop and just shield up and back up to your team. You do not want to be swinging at like 200 HP, purpled, and he's fighting with a support next to him, right? Always in general anyways, but doubly so because what's happening here is that all of your team are alive, but they're fighting something else. You just need to stabilize. You just need to not let the fight get out of hand. You've already won the fight. You just need to make sure nobody else dies. And instead, right now, you're making it so that you are the one person who will die because you're still just standing in front of the Sigma. You're still just taking that fight when you don't need to. And now you've given them a chance to win this fight, which they might well do. Let's have a look. So he's gonna flux. Okay, yeah. This is all your fault. This is all your fault. You should never have let this happen. You threw this fight. You threw this second point by doing what you did. Yeah, you threw this fight. Do you see that now?
Yes.
You do not have to do this when you're up 2 players already and they're chasing the third person in the back line. You just need to make sure nobody else dies. Just stand here. You kill the soldier. Just stand here. Make sure you're in LOS of your team. and don't let this guy get away, and that's fine. You've done it. Just stand with your shield up for a while, and when your team is back, and when your HP is back, you can fight. But instead, you go and die for free.
200 HP.
You went and died for free, and now the BAP kills the rest of your team, and you drop a slam after the card is already gone, so these 2 kills are meaningless. And now you'll die a slow and painful death. So, yeah, you kind of tossed that second point. So again, like another part of this is just understanding the situation of the fight, right? So I think this is twice now. First was when on the payload you pushed too far up, and then you gave up a bunch of room because you broke your shield, and you just stood there. And then here, your fight is won, and you still just pushed into, like, again, a Sig and an Ana healing him. You were still antied, and you still kept swinging. So you need to understand, like, I get it, Reinhardt YOLO in Overwatch 2, I get it, but you still need to be, like, understanding of, like, do I need to YOLO right now? Like, I mean, are we winning? Is it even? Like, you know, where's my team? These will help you make these decisions, because you just did not need to do what you did. You don't need to take risks in fights you basically already won, right? You should take a risk if you're worried that the fight is going to be lost, like there was with the Nanoblade, right? When the enemy team is nanoblading, you're at a big disadvantage, and there's very little you can do apart from if you pin him, and even if you pin him, you won't kill him. You're only going to disable him for a bit. There's very little you can do to stop the Genji. The best you can do is, okay, I'm going to take a risk and see if I can kill as many people as the Genji can kill of my team. Here, when you're up 2, no need. Okay, so at least this time you're, you know, respecting the fact that you're anti-nated. Yeah, I would let your shield charge rather than standing there with your shield up. Almost get the Sojourn. Okay. Any thoughts on why you die there?
Honestly, so when I first watched it, I thought I got like too busy chasing the Sojourn and did not track where the enemy team is. And I dropped panicking that we're gonna C9 and just jumped into their cooldowns.
Yeah, I mean, I think your intentions are good here, but the execution is wrong, and then you panic, like you said. So here, you get, let's say, okay, you know, you make a little bit of an overstep, you get antied. That's fine, it happens. I need you to stand here and drop your shield so it can recharge. You see what you're doing right now? You're shielding air. Nothing is shooting you. Nothing is NLOS of you. And you're just standing there with your shield up so it won't recharge. So this is what I was talking about when you were here on second point and you weren't letting your shield, you know, you were burning your shield for nothing. Now your shield is 500 and you literally, look at what you're shielding. Your own Ana, right? Like, this is not helping. Drop your shield, let it recharge, get healed up, and go again in a second. Now that the anti-nade is gone and the tank and the Ana are on the low ground, right? Instead, again, you're not letting your shield properly recharge. It's at 300, 400, barely at 500 when you engage, right? So you have no flexibility here. And 500 HP will just die. Like, the shield HP of 500 will die in a minute, right? In a second. So if you had 1200 HP when you do this, it would have been a lot better for you. But I don't mind this, right? This is fine. Let's get the Sojourn off the high ground. But then again, when you get there, rather than... What I would have recommended is play this corner, let your shield recharge, get a heal from your BAP, and we'll go afterwards, right? But again, 400 shield HP, it's about to break. You're under pressure, and then you just drop. Now you have literally nothing. You're about to lose your armor HP, which again is a good rule of thumb of like, you're okay until you have armor, and the minute you don't have armor, you're in big trouble as Reinhardt. Big trouble. And you have no shield. You have no pin, no fire strikes, no bitches, right? Nothing. And you just get slept and die because you literally fall into the middle of 5 people. Like 2 people here, 3 people here. Right? You just kind of lost in the sauce, basically. Lost in the sauce. So if you just let your shield recharge, you go here. You scare the Sojourn off. Like, you've done your job here. Right here, you've done your job because 3 people of the enemy team are now out of this area, which is where the fight is going to take place. So now it's basically just a Sigma. Your Ashe is here. Your Ana's here. Your Genji is around here. So they should be able to deal with these 2 people on their own, right? You're holding 3. And if you just let your shield recharge, you might be able to like fight these guys. You can make another decision if you want to go back and fight here. You have options here. But the minute you do this, which is run back into the cover, or into the open rather, out of cover, get your shield broken, and then you drop into Narnia, you've now just made sure that like this fight is lost again. Yana even has nano boost, which I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but like if you had come back, let's say, could have got nano boost on point, would have been sustaining for a long time. But again, you just kind of do the worst of every world, which is where you like half-heartedly contest the high ground, get your shield broken, and then die. All that makes sense?
Yeah.
Any questions?
Kind of stupid question.
No, there's no stupid questions. Go ahead.
How do I even keep track of the healers? Because that is when I like really struggle. Because sometimes, you know, like you're in the heat of the fight, and then you can't really afford to look back. But I mean, it's not always all the games, but sometimes just suppose like, nah, I'm gonna heal the DPS and just ignore me. And I'm like hard engaged in the fight, and I can't do much about it.
When you say keep track of them, do you mean where they are? Or
where
like,
they are.
Where they are? So obviously looking is helpful, but let's say you feel like I can't look. It's actually about playing the angles that they would be at. It's understanding the angles that they would be at. Like if you don't understand the angles that they would be positioned, and sometimes, you know, sometimes they'll fuck up and they're in some Narnia position that you can't, like sometimes, you know, I'll be frustrated in the game where I'm like, what the hell, like position is my Ana playing, or what the hell LOS are my supports playing, right? But here, like, you've visually confirmed that your BAP is here next to you, right? You know this. So as long as you're in this area, you're gonna get his support, right? You're gonna get his healing.
Yes.
And again, in this time, you can confirm other things. When you're in downtime, you can confirm, right? You can confirm things. So here, like I said, you're just waiting to get healed. So you can look, where's everybody? Use those down moments to figure this out. Ana's here, Ash is here. So now you know, Ana is roughly here. She's gonna exist in this kind of zone here, right? Like in this kind of area, which means that her LOS is like at best here and here. It's not here, right? That much you know for sure. There's very little ways where she can suddenly arrive from here to here. So you now know, like, with that bit of information, you should now be able to draw a mental picture in your map. These are the effective areas where I will get support from. So like if I play here, I should get support. If I play here, I'll get some from my BAP. If I play here, I'll get support. If I play here, I'm gonna get nothing. Because my BAP will not get me and my Ana will not get me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So like understanding where they would be positioned is also another way. It's like is a smarter way of doing it. Of course, it doesn't work if your teammates are stupid, but like that's why we do a mix of looking and anticipating, right? So if you go here again, you go here, you should now know intuitively. And again, take a break, take a second. If you feel like you're someone who tunnels a lot, you're in safety. Take a second, stop, look. Okay, my Ana's over there. She's never gonna get me. My BAP is there. He's still got me. My Ashe is there. My Genji's there. Okay, now I know what's up. Now I can decide what I want to do. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes. And there's also another issue which I just noticed. Most of the time when you said that I'm shielding air, I'm kind of scared of things hitting at me.
But you don't necessarily need to be shielding for it, right? Like here, your shield is up. Why? You don't need to be here. You were here in cover and you could let your shield recharge. You're not protecting anyone else here. So what logic was there in not just letting your shield recharge here first? Right?
So I was actually trying to go the other way where my BAP was. But then I saw that there were like 2 people clumped up, so I fire striked. And then I saw my card like it's going, then I panicked and jumped. That's the thought process I remember that happened during this fight.
Okay, so let's follow it through. Why do you want to be here with your BAP again? You just charged over. Why are you trying to be here? But what does that get you?
Back to the card.
What does that get you?
So I can go to the card from like the behind side and start contesting the low ground, because I generally am kind of feeling stupid. Why am I in the high ground where everyone else is on low ground? So I'm trying to rotate like a long way down to the low ground.
Okay, but that also has to come, like, in an ideal world, if you're able to rosy over to back here and they all let you and then come back here, sure. But that's not the situation you're in. The situation you're in is that you got no shield HP because you didn't manage it, right? So like if you're here and you're like, I need to go back, but I don't have the shield to do it, then you can't do it. Right? It doesn't matter if you're like, I want to be here. You're now here and you didn't manage your shield, so now it's 500 HP. So like also you might be on the high ground and no one else is here, but that means that they are not able to get to the high ground. The Sojourn was here pounding your team. The BAP could be here shooting your team. But you're here and they can't be now. Like I said, you're here. Now the Ana has to look back and forth, right? She has to look in front of her and behind her. Because there's these threats here now behind her. These guys cannot push past because you will, if they go under, you will drop and swing on them. If they go up, you will swing on them. They are now forced to be as back here, right? Look what it does. Look where their Sojourn goes. She's back here and their BAP is back here. If you had just sat here, these two guys would have had to stay there, basically. That's two people out the fight. Instead, again, you walk back, get your shield and HP effed, and now they immediately, what happens? They walk right back to where they were.
Walk into me and just destroy, because now I just... So, okay, it's the concept that Ryan takes space in front of him and not behind him. And I keep zoning people out, but then I realize that I'm kind of in a bad position while I'm actually in a good position zoning people, and then let the people enter into the fight because I'm repositioning.
Yeah, I think one of the traps of Reinhardt is that people feel like they always have to be chasing something as Reinhardt. Whereas, like, again, sometimes just standing here is like a huge threat. Now, I'm not saying stand here forever, but stand here and recharge your cooldowns before you go, right? Like, you can go again in a second, but wait for your cooldowns because you've just used your pin and your shield is dead. So you can't just keep, can't just keep going and going and going. You need to buy time for your next bit of cooldown. So like here, I'm all for this, we almost killed the Sojourn. Good try. Just chill here for a sec, and then once you get a bit more shield HP, if you're at 1200 shield HP, then you can drop and push these guys back or chase them. Or like, if you want to go back around here, then you can do that. But yes, like you said, you're scaring these guys here, but the minute you give that up by dropping, you're now the worst of every world. Yeah, motion gaming. So if you're zoning 2 people out and potentially 3 people out, you're doing your job as a tank. Now, it won't always pan out. Sometimes your team will do air with it, right? And I'm not saying just be passive, but you are doing a job if you are zoning multiple people out to fight. And there, as you can see, there's actually a long way to go for the cart, so you didn't even need to panic. There's a long way to go yet. So okay, let's have a look at your own attack.
So here I'm looking at the Sigma like above and like calling out the team like, let's just rotate below and just go to point.
Okay, I hope you noticed the Junkrat mine. Okay, that's fine. This is fine.
So I have my Kiriko with me. I'm thinking like I can just contest. The BAP is not scaring me, to be honest, because he's kind of missing. I know he's trolling. He did this thing which was kind of stunning, but yeah. And then I noticed my Kiriko dying and I know that things falling apart.
Yeah, I mean, just quickly respond to chat. From my experience in lower ranks, a lot of stupid things you do from is anticipating what stupid things could your teammates do and playing around that. Yeah, again, you don't want to fuss too much about what your teammates are doing in the sense of like, if they're being dumb, it's hard to anticipate for stupid. So you just gotta do the best you can, and then everything else happens as it does, right? You just gotta do the best thing you can do in any situation. Don't spend too much time obsessing over what dumb logic your teammates are applying. Now, in this fight here, I think this is okay. I think, to be honest, I would have been tempted to maybe shield them or get them off the high ground, but this is fine too. Because they panic and they drop. Because they could have like crossfired you, but they just panic and drop, right? You have 300 shield HP, so they could have easily broken it and then pushed you. But like now, you see the BAP or the Sigma just lets you swing on him for free. Like you said, you got a Kiriko behind you. The only thing I dislike is how you alternate your shields here. So like, and a little bit of positioning. So always just make sure that not in between your support and you are not in between a shield, right? So I think you can just step back here because again, he's trying to touch point. He's not on point. You can force him on the point. And then I don't think you need to even bother shielding until he's rocking because you're literally full HP. Right? And now you need to shield to block this rock. That is the only important thing that you need to stop. Because once that happens, you see how quickly you die.
Yeah, I just lost half my speed instantly.
So here, all you just keep swinging away. You're pounding the Sigma. We force an immortality. But the minute you get rocked is when you get fucked. Also, your Kiriko Swift steps over to this Junkrat, so that's also partly why. But once if you notice that, then you can start hard shielding. But the reason you die here is because you eat the rock. Like, let's look at how much damage you took while rocked. So you're 430 right now. You're gonna get rocked.
200.
And you drop to 140.
140. Oh my
So you took
God.
like, 300 damage basically just in that like second that you spent being rocked. Because you don't have the option to put your shield up. Your hitbox is very exposed. Very easy, right? And again, if you had realized the situation, you can just back up because once more, there's 3 people shooting you. And your team should be able to win the 4v2. But the minute you die, all that pressure goes away. And now your team collapses, right? So like understanding the situation is very, very important. I think here you also get very distracted by the immortality. When you turn to swing on the immortality, you just kind of like completely lose yourself.
Yeah, because without the immortality, with the immortality, I'm not able to kill him anyways.
Yeah, I know,
So-
but like the turn was... What I mean is when you turned, you didn't see the rock, right? You turned very like awkwardly, I feel. Okay, this guy should die. You should just pin him right now. You should just pin him.
Nah, I'm too passive for that. I'm like, should I not? I was deciding and just
Once-
5 strike in the end.
Once the rock is gone, there's literally no reason not to pin, right? If you ever see a Sigma this close, he's fucked up. You just walk on him firstly. He will have to rock. And the minute he rocks, you block the rock, and then you just pin him for free. There's nothing he can do to stop you. Apart from if he had ult, but he doesn't. Obviously, he doesn't have ult right now. Barely a minute into the game. If he ever gets that close, he should die. You should not let him get away with that. Even now, you can pin. He still doesn't have rock. They don't have any other CC that would stop you. Maybe the Junkrat can mine you out of your trajectory, but there's no Ana anymore either. So these are things, again, to pay attention to. There's no Ana. So literally, it's just rock. Once rock is gone, he cannot stop you getting on top of him. The Kiriko can, but she's going to swift step away, as you see here. So, fight the things that can't escape you, which is the Sigma. If you pin the Sigma again, he will die. He cannot stop it. Look, there you go. Look at that. How free is that? Oh,
No, I actually went for the style points and messed up.
okay. Well, yes, you should have cancelled that pin. You could have pinned him into a wall.
I cancelled at the wrong time. I cancelled when I was outside. I did cancel it, but I just cancelled at the wrong point. So,
It's okay.
yeah.
It does happen. It's sometimes
But yeah,
easy to
I
fuck
just
up.
gave my prop that I'm kind of like the attacker and I have the better spawn, so we can just take it.
I mean, it's not a million miles away on defender side either. As you can see, he gets back as fast as you do, and you have pin, so it's actually not
Oh,
a huge difference on this map.
oh. Okay, I need to learn the maps now. Because most of the time, so when you pointed out that mega side, where I was kind of hard entering the team when I didn't need to, I actually did not even know that section existed.
Yeah, it does. I mean, this is stylish. I actually think it's a complete waste though, because you won the point already and they're already staggered. So this is like a trap that I myself would fall into quite often, because it looks really nice what you just did, but it isn't.
Oh. Because I
So-
thought like since we are kind of winning the fight, I can just extend the healers dying.
Yeah.
That's kind of
I
like what
get
I
it,
thought,
but think it through, right? So you've just killed their BAP in their junk, so that's 10 seconds they're out the fight, right? You go on this BAP. He's now used immo. He's not going anywhere really. He's just gonna hang around here, and your team should be able to come push him out. So you use your slam.
Yeah.
You use your slam, and then you have to chase this Ashe anyways. So this Ashe would have died anyways. So all you've done is take... but the Sig and the Junk are still dead. The Sig is still dead. And it's looking like another couple seconds that he's still dead. So all you did was maybe buy your team like an extra 6 seconds or something. That's it.
Yeah,
With the
but
slam-
the better option would have been like not use the slam, so I save my slam and keep both the healers kind of pressured, so we win more time. So the slam kind of did the opposite
Well, yeah,
of what
it
I
kind of like it resets them almost. Like you can just kill them on your own, and then you can kind of like YOLO to wherever you want. See if you can get up here, and then then you can slam the next fight, and that's a next fight you win for free because pretty easy to get a slam through a Sigma. But now you don't have a slam. So again, the Sigma's walking on you. Imagine if you had slam, it would be a free kill.
Yeah. Actually, there's one case scenario which I'm thinking. So in that case where I don't slam both the supports, and the team managed to come back, like almost come back, and then I slam and stagger, would that be a good decision?
Yeah, I mean, if you see the enemy team coming back and there's two people that you can kill, sure. In my book, that fight has started again, but
Okay. Honestly,
you need to
I'm very scared about the other support because Ana is doing something, but I don't know about the Kiriko. Like So
you should
one
just
thing
be,
which I do.
yeah.
Sorry. So how do you visually notice that Kiriko is healing you? Because Ana, I can actually feel the Ana hit, like the sound cue, because you get the cue sound that she's healing you. But with Kiriko, it's very hard.
When you're shielding, can you see these papers flying at you? We'll slow it down.
But when I'm engaging, how do I see that?
I mean, you don't
With shielding,
necessarily.
I can see a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but you know now. You don't have to literally be seeing it every single second, right? So when you shield here in a second, we'll see it probably. You can see that there's the paper of the Kiriko healing you. So like, she's here. Like you can't necessarily check every single second where she is or isn't, but she's healing you right now. And you can hear the sound of yourself getting healed by her and Niana. And again, if you're in danger, you could just stop, turn around with your shield, like you know, hold your shield there, but use the shield turn to be able to look behind you. Okay, they're both here. Also, I don't even care if neither of your supports are here because at full HP you should just go.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, like, into 5 people? I'm kind of scared.
Well, what did you do otherwise? What did you achieve here? Let's watch. Let's watch, okay? So your Ashe dies. You're standing here. You're standing here. Your Ana gets rocked. You're still standing here. Your Ana's now gonna die in a second. Dead. And you're just still standing there. So their Sigma just killed 2 people. The other tank. And you did air in that time. So, was that really better than what you just did? And now you get rocked. Now, your Ashe and your Genji press the go button and go. But like, why don't you just go? Like, just go, pin the Sigma, and get to here. Now you've caused a different problem. Now you force them, rather than just spamming the one choke, now you force them to look at you, which means your team gets to hit their back now. Your team gets to hit them from behind. If the Sigma's looking here, if he's not looking here, you swing at him, maybe his BAP, maybe you go even deeper. But standing here, you're doing nothing. Like I said, he's just used his rock. There's literally nothing to stop you. If you pin now, you pin him here, out of LOS of his supports, and he's down to like 200 HP, max. Right? But you're just standing there. There's nothing to stop you. Literally, these guys cannot stop you. I don't think you understand. These two now cannot stop you. If you just play the correct LOS, they cannot stop you from just pinning and killing. But you're just standing here. And it takes your DPS to do it, right? So your Genji goes and sees it.
Yeah.
And your Ashe sees it. But you're just standing there. Now you pin. And now by that time he's built ult off of you. And again, what is this? What is this? What are you doing? Yeah. Fantastic job helping your team here by staring at them, giving them cheerleading from the low ground, right? Like, what is this? How are you helping this situation? Staring at the people in the flux and then just being there for moral support when they land. Like, what did you do to help here? Nothing. Air. Go fight something. Like, go fight this Junkrat. Be ready to fight the Sigma when he drops. Go up to their high ground. Right? Go fight this Kiriko. Force her to use a cooldown. Draw their attention. Anything that's better than this.
Let me see.
There you go. We swing. At least we're aggressive on the Sigma. There's a tire to the left. Thank God for Bob.
Bob killed it. Okay, I thought I thanked it. one thing I'm actually noticing is that I don't
Go,
really...
go. Yes.
I think I'll go, yeah. So, I have to like look at cooldowns that can stop me and watch them. Like, because I'm seeing like a lot of comments that you're making is basically, wait, the Sigma can't stop you, he has no CC. I think Ryan is, okay, this is my image right now as Ryan is. If Ryan is not stopped, like nothing to CC on the enemy team, Ryan should actually just go into the tank or pressure the tank, or if the DPS is being stupid, just pressure the DPS first.
I mean, I don't even
Is
think
that
you need to
correct?
fight. No, I don't think you necessarily need to fight the tank. In this case, you can because he's a Sigma and he can't stop you. Like I said, if you pin the Sigma, he's a very easy pin target. But your most effective and your quickest time to kill will be on characters with 200 HP, like who can't escape, right? So if you see like an Ana who doesn't have a sleep dart, she cannot stop you again. Like that's what you gotta think. Like, can they stop me? Because the BAP, he could escape. If I go on the BAP, he can jump up. If I go on the Ashe, he could coach up. So these guys, the Kiriko could swift step away. These guys can escape. But a Sigma can't escape. The Ana can't escape. Right? So that's what you got to pay attention to. Is like, who can I go on? That's the theme. Who can I go on who cannot go away from me? Who cannot escape from me? Who cannot stop me anymore? Right? And again here, look. You're just AFK now. You're not doing anything to help. This is not helping. I want to be very clear. This is not helping. Because your Ashe can use cover. She's gonna like... She's not really gonna benefit from the shield. She's not gonna stand behind the shield forever. Nor is she gonna die that quickly to a BAP. You should be here. This will stop the Ashe. The shield is not really gonna stop the Ashe. It's just absorbing some damage. But she can go around your shield. She's dynamited one of your teammates. Your teammates could end up walking past your shield. If you go here, she definitely cannot shoot anyone now. So you need to go. Go. Right? Immediately go. And then just don't stop. Chase this Ashe. You're 600 HP. 600 HP and you're backing up. And 700 shield HP. Just go. Go. Keep going. Stop these guys right now. You're one swing away from slam. Instead, once more, it's going to have to be your Genji doing the job, right? Once more, it's your Genji who wins the fight, not you. Nice. We get that pin as the follow-up from the Genji. But just do not hang around. Three swings on a 200 HP target. 3 swings. B-Peg. Does the Reese's Fortify stop it? Yes, it does.
I think the Norisa is like a really bad matchup.
Oh yeah,
with
it's
the
a horrible
Reinhardt.
matchup for Reinhardt. It's the worst matchup.
Yeah, she has like 5 seconds CC. She can just keep...
You
My
just have to
charge
avoid.
is
So here,
bigger
you should go.
cooldown.
Go. I hope you slam this guy. I hope you walk and slam. Slam him.
Yeah.
Big. Good idea. Don't go. Oh.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Good idea, poor execution. So like, again, here, there's 3 of them. You land a slam. Unfortunately, you don't hit the Sig with it. But,
walk past,
so this
so
is
yeah.
all fine, right? 2 fire strikes will kill, but what you should notice now is that there's a Sojourn also shooting you. So when the picture changes, your decision making should change too. Firstly, try and be in cover. Even when you're just fire striking, you should be in cover, right? Your Genji kills the Kiriko. Your Ana, again, if you're looking for those cues, you have the positive nade on your back. You should be able to see that.
Yeah.
There, you should see this, right? So you're being healed
But
by
I know
Ana.
that the shield is blocking me.
Yes, but you should pay attention to the fact that there was a shield behind you, right? So you shouldn't or automatically should bear that, okay, I might be getting my heals cut off. Also, 250 HP, Sojourn shooting you. Stop. Stop right now, right? And again, shield an angle that will protect you from the damage. So just like either back up into here or shield these guys because they're the bigger damage and just accept the Sig will hit you and walk back into the line of sight of your supports. Instead, you let the 2 higher damage dealers hit you, and the Sig is what you block, and you're not you're not in line of sight of your support. So, oh, okay, that should be an easy
No,
block.
that one I just deliberately took the 5 strike. That stun.
Why?
Just because I'm not going to be threatened anyways, and the Ana can get free charge off it.
But why give him the ult charge and the opportunity to follow up on you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like,
A lot
what
of
if
time I just like take free damage anyways.
you don't have to. Like, this isn't, you know, this isn't Overwatch 1, we're playing double bubble, and I need to play for nano boost. Like you're not looking to play around your support's ult chart, so there's no reason to do this.
Okay.
Just like, because for example, what if he rocks you, someone else is behind you, and they shoot that one person behind you? Like, what if they shoot your Kiriko now? Right? What if that Ashe hits the shot here as well on top of the Sig and she dies? And again, you're just standing slightly too far away. Like, you should be here so that you can swing on them when you want to, instead of... Okay, again, your Genji opens up the fight. Go, just charge. Yeah, just go. I don't even mind that you ate the rock. Just run it down aggro. Kill the brig now. It's all good. All good. Block the rock. You have to block the rock. Like, it's the only thing you have to do in this matchup against Sigma. The only thing you have to do is block the rock. Okay, your shield is about to break, so think about that. Any thoughts?
Should I have one?
It didn't seem like you did have any, to be honest. No. I mean, you just seen them. You've just burnt your shield already. You should just let your shield recharge. You've taken the corner. There's nothing more to be gained. Once more, in your mind, is there any way with 400 shield HP you can kill all 4 of these guys? No, there is not. You've got the corner. You've just gotten your team the chance to take this side. Just stop, charge your shield, go in a second. Then you get a miraculous escape when they window, and you actually get to run away. Do not ever be baited by the fact that there's a Kitsune Rush here, that you have to use it. If using it means you die, don't use it. Right? This Kitsune Rush is a trap. You do not want to use it. There's nothing you can do inside it. You have no shield and 200 HP. There's nothing you can do except get melted like a sheet of paper in the fireplace, right? You're just getting burned. There's no need. You throw again, because you had slam coming up, right? All you need to do is wait out the window, get one fire strike in, and then you just walk on these, because they're all huddled together. Then you just walk on these guys, and you slam them for free. Like, imagine if you were here, and you had your full shield, and now you slam, bang, everyone's knocked down, your team follows up, your Ana's 95 to nano, your Genji might have got nanoed, you might have got nanoed, you might have killed them all. Instead, you die. Now your team will die, I think. Yes, they will.
My wounds. Let's go.
Okay, at least we have Nano Blade again. Okay, so the Sojourn is asleep. Yeah, good. Good decision. Okay, bad decision now. Okay, we're still surviving. Decent slam. Just go. Yeah, good. Okay, good. Okay, you need to look. Are you playing on like controller or something? Or just mouse?
No, I'm on PC. Just I'm experimenting with my sensitivity and DPI a bit, so I kind of lost a bit.
Okay, that's okay. Again, go at her. It is like simple, one very unequivocal tip, as in this is always true. It is better, like simple geometry tells you that the closer you are to a target, the more you narrow their angles, right? It's like if you picture a cone going outwards from the Sojourn, the closer you are to the center that's cone, the more you block with your big shield. The farther away you are, the more angles you give. When she runs down on the point with her railgun, you decide to stop here. So picture that cone. If you're here, there's nothing to shoot. But you're here now, you widen that cone to give her the chance to shoot your Ana, to shoot people around her, like to shoot the Ashe. Again, from here, she can shoot everyone. You're just standing here. Go, right? Again, look where you're going. Go, on her, here. What are you blocking? The stairs of the enemy team. Go on her. And forget about the ball. Forget about the ball. This guy here. Kill this guy here. The ball is literally just AFK. This guy will kill your entire team. Again, you've tossed this fight. Right? If you had killed the Sojourn, they do not hold this point. You can
Yeah,
still
I'm
live.
tunneling
You
on
can
the
still.
ball.
You can still build
Can
slam
we
and
win
win.
this fight? We can. Yeah, we win this fight.
Nice slam.
I think I tunnel vision on the ball too much.
Well, you did, but also again, it's a simple principle of like you've done this a couple times. If there's an enemy DPS, like you just stand there and you're like, shield, I hope they'll stand behind me. If you can get close to them, you can cut the angle of how much they can shoot. So like push up on them. Don't actually stand there, push up. Because A, the threat of you getting close will push them back. But B, the closer you get, the more of their vision your shield is blocking, right? Yeah, we're gonna quickly run through your attack now, because I think we've given you quite a few things to think about already. Okay, so I can already tell the Orisa just kind of giving you the runaround. To be honest,
She kind of free entered in my team.
yes, I mean pinning an Orisa should never really work. Because she should just be able to spear or fortify, but she was dumb, so she gives you the free.
She used her cooldowns, if I'm not wrong. She didn't even have them. I saw the 45 like go gold off and just pin because I know she doesn't have any 45.
Nope, don't AFK on card. Don't AFK on card. Don't AFK on card.
Nah, I do push up. Like initially I do it, then I push up ahead a bit.
And then you AFK again.
Oh shit, I don't remember the fight now. Shit.
So
Yeah, I see
basically
two
the
people
fight,
there,
was,
like,
the
nah,
fight
fuck
was just over before you even think, because look, the Cassidy gets here and he kills your Ana.
Yeah.
And then they come again. Because you're just standing there. You should have been here. You should have been here, and then you would have been able to see him. You could have then gone here. Or you could have pushed up super aggro. I mean, not ideal against an Orisa. But you're just literally AFK. You are a turret right now, but worse because you don't shoot. And again, you don't notice this guy, so... Yeah, that fight is over. There's no way you win that fight.
Yeah. Quick question. When the cart was pushing at that point, should I actually push like the main or this right door?
Here, like, this depends. Again, you should be here so you can assess where you're going from. If they are...
Okay.
If you see that Cassidy go in the room, you can then adjust. Because you basically can't really fight the Orisa. You need to fight around the Orisa. So you need to fight things that are not the Orisa. Because she will wreck you. I'm sure we'll find out in a second.
Oh no, that always looked kind of dumb. She couldn't do.
There you go, you're dead. Okay, you got
Nah,
saved by
Kiriko
your
will bail
Kiriko.
me out and she used a cooldown, so I just kind of start wrecking her because I'm an anti-ring. Honestly, it was kind of like Ana and Kiriko just carrying me and Orisa being stupid.
Fair. You can go now though, you can pin. You can go. Yeah. Good job. I think you should start high ground, by the way. Okay, there Orisa does not... Okay, you're... Yeah.
Orisa was throwing. I was aggressive on the Orisa because I knew she was gonna throw.
I mean, still, she still kind of quite easily hard counters you. So you should start here, though. Start here, so that this guy doesn't get to go here, or anyone doesn't get to go here.
Okay, so
Because if you start on the low ground, you can't go up to the high ground. If you start on the high ground, you can always drop to the low ground. And now they went hog, and you're just standing there, shielding. Okay, yeah, you're lost in the sauce again.
Yep.
You're just standing again. Look at what you're shielding.
Then a panic shattered.
This is the same mistake. So simple last time.
Yeah.
If you're just standing there in the middle of point with your shield up, you're offering nothing to your team. You should either be here or you should be here now if you're gonna protect your team. Maybe come up from here and bully from here. Standing here, you're doing air. Look, air. You get booped away. Air. Booped away again. It's 5v2. You miss your slam.
So when I'm like trying to get towards my enemy team without my charge, is it okay to not hold shield and just press W?
Depends what they have. I would not recommend that against Ana Hog and Sojourn. Because they'll probably just burst you before you realize. You probably just want to shield hop anyways. So you probably just want to, again, you gotta approach each team comp as it comes. Like if they don't have a lot of burst or they don't have a lot of stun. When they had Sigma Bap Kiriko, that gives you a lot of chance to just walk up on them because they're not gonna burst you. But now that they have Ana, Sojourn, Hog, they could stun you or burst you. Okay, it looks like some tomfoolery was occurring here. Let's see what happens. I don't really think you need to go here, to be honest.
I was kind of afraid of a C9, so I just went back.
No, but I mean, why did you go like all the way there? Again, this is a tough choke point. This is a really hard choke point to get through. Just control the space. You then run into like their LOS, basically, right? This is where they are. And now, if people coming back from spawn get to shoot your back, which they will. And now, again, they just start pushing the payload, which means your teammates have to drop on it. And then the Hog gets to walk on the rest of your team for free. So, again, another example of you just pushing past what was already a good spot to then make it a bad spot. So does all of that make sense?
Yeah, the common trend that I'm noticing is just, you know, I have a good spot, and I think I should be aggressive and leave the spot and push into them.
That's one, yes. Two, you're often too passive at other times where you just stand there and you're like, my shield will do the job. No. The most important thing is, Reinhardt, is understanding what will stop me. You know, you said at the start yourself, you're like, when there isn't stuff that's countering me, I pop off, and when there's stuff that's countering me, I don't pop off. Well, that is literally what you have to do is, Reinhardt. You have to understand, okay, what on the enemy team will be the most dangerous to me? If it's an Ana, okay, I gotta make sure the sleep dart is not there before I push. If I'm naded, I might have to stop. If it's like a Sigma, as long as his rock is gone, he's not a threat. If it's a Hog, I gotta watch for the hook. If it's a Sojourn, you just gotta make sure that, like, you don't get burst down trying to chase her, right? Because she's way faster than you. So you gotta find the things that, like, what can I get on top of and fight that I can kill, and what do I have to avoid? If it's an Orisa, I'm not trying to fight her. I'm trying to fight everything but the Orisa, right? So it's like, that's the key. So that's what you missed out on a lot of times, where you would just like, you'd see a threat, and rather than pushing on it, you just stand there with the shield up. And then later, you would have like a good position set up for your team, and you just run out of that position with no resources and just die. So I think that's the tips for you, Asphalt. Does that make sense? Do you have any questions?
Just one parting question. How do I, for example, let's say that I really want to force Reinhardt, and the enemy team is basically just burst damage. Like, they have a Sojourn, they have Ana, they have Kiriko, they have Ashe, and they have Orisa. Let's say that's the comps. And how do I even approach?
I think you just int, to be perfectly honest. The way I think Cloudy and Bowie play Reinhardt, they just push their resources to the maximum. So basically, one thing that you might want to consider as well, any resources going at you are resources that are not hurting the rest of your team, right? So there was a couple occasions, like when you were on third point defense and they had the Sojourn and the BAP and the Soldier that you had kind of zoned. If they are looking at you, they are not looking at your team. So if you're Reinhardt and you're like in their backline threatening them, but you're surviving, that's the important part, right? You just survive as long as you can while being a threat. That is time that your team gets to fire for free. Sometimes they will do air and fuck up anyways. Can't be helped. But if you do that consistently, then at least you're creating opportunities for your team to win based off of fights that you started and drew attention away from them, right? So like if they're like, and you're like, I'm gonna force Reinhardt even if they're running every counter, at least cause enough of a chaos and a threat that it gets the rest of your team a chance. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much, Asphalt. I hope this has been helpful to you. And,
yeah, it's been super helpful. Thanks.
Yeah,
a lot.
I hope to see you succeed and do better and have more fun as the Reinhardt gamer.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right, see ya. Bye.